On today's broadcast, I'm going to share with you 7 tips on how to avoid and minimize your exposure to, like from nuclear reactors and stuff like that. But because that's called ionizing radiation. This is non-ionizing radiation, so it's not as obviously harmful, but there are clear harms that are being identified in the scientific and clinical literature. And I've done other videos about that, so I'm going to keep this to this topic on how to minimize your exposure. So tip number 1, kind of obvious, but there's solutions, but just avoid holding the phone up to your head. The most important time of avoidance is when you first press the green button to connect a call or to dial a call or accept a call, because that's when it puts out the most radiation, because that's when it's pinging to find where it can get the best signal to connect that call. So that's the time where you definitely want to avoid putting it up to your head. But just in general, just avoid putting the phone to your head. Your ear canal is a real sensitive area, and just your brain in general, you really want to protect it. So what can you do? A lot of people turn to Bluetooth for this, but the problem with a Bluetooth headset is that it's actually radiating. Those have little transmitters inside them, and those are radiating into your ear canal, that soft tissue going right to your brain that's not protected by any skull at all there. So that's a problem. So avoid using Bluetooth. That's for one thing. You can use one of these handy air tube headsets. The problem with a normal headset is that it actually can turn into a secondary antenna when it's connected to the phone, because this wire actually turns into an antenna in certain situations, and that can actually cause more radiation to the ear canal because it's carried up through the wire. And these avoid that problem by having a speaker down here, and so the wire only goes to this point right here, and that way there's no radiation that actually gets to your ear. There's just a plastic tube that goes to your ear, and the tube carries the sound, and the microphone's down here anyway. So this is a great solution. We've got them at healthharmonic.com, and these ones actually are really cool because it's just a mono headset. So there's just one wire. It's really simple, and they last a lot longer because there's less tension on the wire. We also have the stereo ones if you're into listening to music on your device or whatever, or podcasts. Those can be good, but it can be good to have both, really, if you're doing that kind of thing, because these are great for driving while using the phone, because they keep one ear open and they don't tangle up as much, and they're just easier to deal with, and keep it legal. Some states it's actually illegal to have both ears connected while driving and talking on the phone. So that's one idea. You can also get little ferrite beads that loop around the wire on a normal headset that block some of the radiation going up the wire as an alternative to these. But this is a better solution as far as the radiation problem for a headset. And of course, the other option is to use speakerphone. That's gonna keep it away from your head at least, and so that's definitely an option. And then of course, put your phone in airplane mode when you're not using it. That's tip number 2. I know this can be inconvenient because you're not going to get calls and be able to send text messages and all that kind of stuff. But we've developed these relationships with our devices that tend to be rather unhealthy. Now, if we're living and doing business on the phones, I know it gets difficult to just put it in airplane mode and avoid it. But it can be healthy to reestablish boundaries with these devices, and airplane mode can be your friend for doing that. And it also does help minimize your radiation exposure. So use airplane mode and learn how to set up and turn off the Wi-Fi connectivity on your devices. So tip number 3 is exercise the settings in your devices and turn off Wi-Fi when you're not using it, so it's not automatically connecting to Wi-Fi when you don't need it, because that can increase your exposure when it's automatically connecting to Wi-Fi when you don't need it. It can also run down your battery faster as well. And tip number 4 is set up your home for wired internet connections. This is something I did many years ago, and I'm so glad I did, because I don't rely on any kind of Wi-Fi in my home. And I know a lot of setups are reliant on Wi-Fi for the phones to work if you're on voice over IP, and the way the internet connection or internet network is set up, so that your phone relies on that connection to your Wi-Fi device or your Wi-Fi router. So it can be a big change to do this kind of thing, but this can really help a lot as far as minimizing your exposure when you have wired connection in your house. The old Cat 5 or Cat 6 wired LAN connection, so that you can just plug your computers in instead of being reliant on Wi-Fi, because this can be much faster, and it will minimize your exposure to radiation in a big way. And this moves us to tip 5. Especially limit your children's exposure to devices and screen time. Learn how to use the parental controls on the devices, so that even when you are allowing screen time for your children, that you're not necessarily allowing the Wi-Fi controls. So that way you can allow some screen time without increasing exposure of radiation to your children. So those are two different aspects of the controls, and this gets into I'm going to do another broadcast specifically reviewing this book, but this book called iGen by Jean Twenge. It's a great book, recent book that goes over the basically statistics on our latest generation of children that have grown up on iPhones and smartphones, and how this has affected their development, because these devices are affecting, and just the media in general, social media, is affecting children's development cycles and the way they're communicating with each other, and so this is a real important factor. Before and during pregnancy, limit exposure to wireless technology. This is a huge thing, because if you look back, if you look years back and decades back, we used to not realize how important prenatal and preconception nutrition was for a healthy pregnancy. Now it's pretty well established that there are there's a lot of needs that are nutritional requirements required to have a healthy child, and this goes back to preconception, and so there's no reason to think that we won't have a solid basis in science in the near future to prove that preconception and prenatal avoidance of wireless technology is not going to be crucial to having a healthy pregnancy. And different people are going to have different sensitivities to it. So if your immune system is really strong, then you might have a healthy pregnancy even with some wireless exposure. But on the other hand, if your immune system is weakened, and if you've got some potential nutritional deficiencies, this can be combined to cause a multitude of problems. So this is the kind of stuff that's starting to come up in the scientific literature, and I think we're going to see more and more of that in the near future. So that's really important, and journal your EMF exposure symptoms. If you don't keep track of the symptoms that you have, then the changes that you get from various changes that you make are not necessarily going to be as apparent, and you might not realize what's really working and what's not. So that would be tip number 7. And then one of the bonus tips, I guess, that I wanted to share with you in this broadcast is this Green8 Evolution. This is a product that we've been importing at my company, the company I founded in 2001. We've been importing the Green8 products since 2007. And the reason we keep importing this product is that it's continually updated for all the latest technologies. It's been updated. It was updated for the 3G and for the 4G technologies as those came in, because the way the newer wireless technologies work is that they compress data in a different way. So basically what we have with wireless technology is you have the carrier wave, the carrier frequency, which is the high frequency microwave, and then you have the low frequency data component to the signal, the information pattern. And the combination of these creates a very chaotic signal. And what the Green8 Evolution does is it changes that signal and the field associated with it and makes it into a more harmonious field that's more like a biofield. So it's something that your body can cope with, and it's actually energy that it seems that your body actually can utilize. So it's a very interesting technology. We import these from Germany. This is not some Chinese thing, it's a small product. It just sticks on the back of the wireless device, and so it's really easy to use. But this is a very technical product. It's made in Germany, and we've got a full satisfaction guarantee, and we've got really hundreds, if actually probably thousands of happy customers from over the years that we've been bringing these into the country. So check them out at healthharmonic.com, and that, and I wanted to also show you this is the stereo version of the AirTube headset. So this has the this is like this kind of the standard earbud method or version of this product with the 2 earpieces. Now both the stereo and the mono one have a button here, so you can connect and disconnect to a call, and that's right where the microphone is as well. So yeah, and this, along with all our other products, we've got satisfaction guarantees on everything over there at the store. So if you haven't checked it out yet, check us out at healthharmonic.com. And I want to thank you for watching this broadcast. And feel free to share your comments below. Let me know your feedback. And if you like this video, do the sharing thing. Share it with your friends, and like it and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, and just check my index card, and yeah, and also wanted to mention, if you haven't seen the recent broadcast that we rebroadcast. It was a local event that happened. It was all about the history of wireless technology and health effects, and that is another video that I broadcast recently. So I'll make sure there's a link here. I'll link the store, and I'll link that resource as well in the description here. So you can check that out. If you haven't checked that out, highly recommend it. It's a very worthwhile listen or watch, and you'll learn all about what's leading up to this 5G wireless technology, and why this is really important to take notice of, because there's some real serious politics going on with the industry with 5G, and this is it's really bad what's going on. Basically, it's all about smart homes and Internet of Things, and but I urge you to check out the replay of that broadcast, and yeah, so I'll see you over there, and look forward to hearing from you at the store at healthharmonic.com. And thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.